In a peaceful little town in Colorado, there lived a 16-year-old boy named Ethan Miller. Ethan was one of those kids who seemed capable of anything: smart, creative, full of energy, but there was one thing he could never master: focus. Whenever he sat down to study, his mind would wander within minutes. He'd start thinking about his favorite video game, his phone, or what his friends were doing. Even when he tried to help his dad in the garage, he'd lose interest halfway and walk off. His dad, Mr. Miller, was a hardworking man who always believed in discipline. He often told Ethan, "Son, your mind is like a wild horse. If you don't train it, it'll throw you off and run wherever it wants. But if you learn to control it, it'll take you anywhere you dream of." Ethan would just smile and nod. But deep down, he didn't really understand what his father meant. One day, after Ethan failed another math test, his father decided to do something different. He took Ethan to meet an old mentor named Mr. Raymond, a retired teacher who lived at the edge of town. People said he had helped many young students turn their lives around. When they arrived, Mr. Raymond welcomed them with a warm smile and listened patiently as Mr. Miller explained Ethan's problem. After a moment of silence, the old man nodded and said, "Ethan, I can teach you how to control your mind. But you'll have to follow one simple task first." He handed Ethan a glass filled to the brim with water and said, "Walk around my garden one full circle, but don't spill even a single drop." Ethan laughed lightly. "That's it? It's easy?" But as soon as he started walking, he realized it wasn't as simple as it looked. The garden was full of life: birds chirping, wind blowing, children laughing on the street nearby. Each sound pulled his attention away, and every time he looked around, a few drops of water spilled out. By the time he returned, half the glass was empty. Mr. Raymond looked at the glass and asked calmly, "What happened, Ethan?" Ethan lowered his head. "I got distracted, sir. There was just too much noise around." Mr. Raymond smiled and said, "That glass is your goal, and the water is your focus. The distractions around you are the noises of life: your phone, your friends, your fears. If you don't discipline your mind, you'll lose everything important before you even realize it." Those words struck Ethan deeply. It was the first time he truly saw how much his lack of focus was holding him back. From that day onward, Ethan decided to change. He started small, waking up early, keeping his phone away while studying, and finishing every task he started. He began meditating every morning for 10 minutes, just sitting quietly and trying to control his thoughts. At first, it was hard. His mind jumped from one idea to another, but every time it did, he brought it back over and over again. Weeks turned into months. Slowly, Ethan noticed something different. His memory improved. His confidence grew, and for the first time in his life, he enjoyed focusing. He no longer needed someone to push him. He had learned to push himself. A year later, his school announced a state-level science competition. It was one of the toughest challenges of the year. Students had to solve complex problems under pressure and within a strict time limit. Ethan decided to participate. When the day came, hundreds of students gathered, many of them nervous and panicking. But Ethan was calm. He remembered Mr. Raymond's lesson: focus on the glass, not the noise. He solved one problem at a time, ignoring everything around him. When the results were announced, Ethan's name was called as the winner. The crowd erupted in applause. His father's eyes filled with tears, and Mr. Raymond smiled proudly from the audience. That day, Ethan learned the greatest truth of his life: a disciplined mind is stronger than talent, luck, or intelligence. He had finally mastered what most people never do: control over his own thoughts. From then on, Ethan became known in his town as the boy who trained his mind. He started helping other kids focus and build discipline, sharing the same lesson that changed his life. If this story touched your heart, don't let that spark fade away. Like this video, share it with someone who needs hope. Subscribe for more real stories of strength, discipline, and growth. Remember, your next chapter of success begins the moment you decide to train your mind. Start today.